Welcome to C quiz 6, which is on data types. You will see various questions on this quiz and it will be easy to understand all the data types questions. What would be the output of the following programs? Int I is 0 and less than or equal to 32768, I++ and printf I. So, assuming that int I size is 2 bytes. So for an integer, the range is -32768 to +32767. So here we are doing less than or equal to 32768. So when I is 32767, you increment it and the value goes back to -32768. So which will again be less than 32768. So the point to note here is that I will be always less than 32768. So printf is going to be infinite loop. And next question, char ch equal to 500, printf %d %c for ch. So here ch range is -128 to 127. So percentile d of ch will not print 500. It has to get rounded off with a value within the char range. So let's see how that gets calculated. There are two ways to calculate what will be the percentile d output. So range is -128 to 127. So here we have 256 numbers. So here first do 500 minus 256, which is 244, and again the number starts from 0 to 127, so which is again 128. So again subtract 244 minus 128 and the output is 116. Now again do -128 to 0. So first we have actually ch can be from -128 to 127, so which is 256. So do 500 minus 256 and we have 244 left out. Again 244 is beyond the range of char. So do 244 minus 128, which is 116, and in the negative numbers -128 to 0, do -128 plus 116, which is -12. So if this calculation is confusing, the next way to calculate what is the output is that first write the 500 binary value. So this is 500's binary value. So char ch is 8 bits. It is 1 byte. So take the least 8 bits, which is starting with 1. Since it's a char, if the first bit is 1, it assumes that it is a negative value. So to calculate the actual value, we need to compute the 2's complement of this least 8 bits. So 2's complement is, first we have to do 1's complement, which is negation of each bit. So this is the 1's complement, and do plus 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 0 and 1 will be borrowed, and again 1 plus 1 0 and 1 will be carry forwarded, sorry. So and then again 0 plus 1 1 and then next 1. So the output is 1100. Since the first bit was 1, 1100, though it is 12, it is going to print -12 because of the MSB being 1. Hope you understood how to calculate this. Let's see third question. Char ch equal to -10. Char can take, we can assign negative values. So percentile d ch should print -10 and percentile c will print a junk value or a junk character because there is no negative ASCII values. So this is the answer, and let's go to fourth question. Char CH equal to -10 in single quotes. So CH percentile D will not print -10 because we are assigning it as a character, not as a number. So here char CH will be printed as 0 for percentile D, and ASCII value for percentile C will also be a junk character, and there will be a warning thrown that we are assigning multiple characters to CH and it gets converted into 0 basically. Yeah, so percentile C CH is going to print 0, and due to this multi characters it is going to assign 48, which is the ASCII value of 0, and that gets printed in percentile D. Let's go to fifth question. Unsigned char CH -10. Unsigned char ranges from 0 to 255. So -10 is not possible. So what it does is just write the binary value of -10, which is 1's complement of 10 plus 1, and it takes least significant bits, least 8 significant bits, and it converts it to decimal value, and that gets printed in CH. Let's see the answer. So binary of -10 is 2's complement of 10. So the value is 1111 and 0110. Since it is unsigned char, it is not bothered about the MSB being 1. It just takes this binary and converts into decimal value, and that gets printed in percentile D. And CH percentile C will be a junk character. Sixth question. Unsigned char CH equal to -500. So again, unsigned char cannot have negative value. So let's see how the value will be, what will be the value of CH in percentile D. So let's see the answer. Again, ASCII value of -500 will be, okay, this is the binary value of -500, 1110 and 4 zeros followed by 1100. So it takes least significant bits and it calculates what is the decimal value of that, and that will be 12. So unsigned char CH will print 12. And static int sval is 5, printf sval and sval minus minus. If sval not equal to 0, call main again. Since it's static int, each time main is called, value will be stored and it will be retrieved. So sval will print 5 first, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, and when it prints 1, after the printf value would have become 0 because of sval minus minus. So it will not call main again and it will return. So the output should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question. Let's see, since the program is little bigger, let's see it, what it is doing step by step. So for I equal to 1, I less than 3, I plus plus, printf I. So 1 is going to get printed, and j is equal to function I. So we are passing 1 here, and here sy is static int and z is int, local variable. Sy is sy plus equal to x. 1 plus 1, 2. And we are returning 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4. Okay, so x is, first we have printed 1 here, and then j is 4, and next time I will be 2. So next time it will print 2. And then to compute j, previously sy was 2. So now again we are passing x as 2. So sy will be 2 plus 2, 4. Z is 1. So 4 plus 1, 5, x is 2, 7. So let's see the output. Hope you understood it. Sy first time is 2, x is 1, z is 1. And next time sy is 2 plus 2, 4, and x is 2, z is 1. So this is how the output would be. Let's see the ninth question. Float x is equal to 4.5 is a global value, and inside main float y, and we have declared a function float f of float, and now x is equal to x into 2.0, which will be 9.0, and we are passing x to function f. Here we are doing plus equal to 1.5, 10.5. That will be assigned to y. Now printf x and y. X will be 9.0, y will be 10.5. Though we are passing global value here, we are just passing as a value. We are not passing as an address. So x will be 9.0 and y will be 10.5. Let's see 10th question. A equal to 300 is a global, and inside main we have one block, inside which again we have defined a equal to 200. Inside this block again we have defined int a equal to 300. So the block in which we are, that is having high precedence over the global value. The local value will take high priority. So here it is 300. After this block, here we have a is 200. So this is 200. And after this block, it takes the global value. A is 100. Let's see the next question. Unsigned A equal to 25. Long unsigned B equal to 25L. We can assign as 25L. And we are using LU, that is long unsigned for A, which is unsigned, and just unsigned for B. So it prints 2525, but there will be a warning saying that we are using percentile LU for unsigned and U for long. Let's see 12th question. Int A equal to 100, long float A equal to 25.345 exponential 454, unsigned double b equal to 25. So long is not allowed for float, it is only for int. So this is an error, and unsigned int only is allowed, unsigned float or unsigned double is not there. So the output is error. Both long and float and declaration specifiers. These are two different declaration specifiers. Similarly, unsigned and double. Let's see the next question. Float A equal to 7.354 and float asterisk B equal to ampersand A. Now we are printing percentile U, ampersand A, and unsigned int B. So we are printing address of A here in the first line using percentile U. So percentile U actually expects unsigned int, but B is a float pointer. So we have to use a typecast here to avoid warnings. And next one is percentile F A, which will print the value. But percentile D, which expects an integer, whereas B is a float. So this will be a junk value or 0.00. And next is percentile f, a comma b. Though b is a float pointer, we cannot use percentile f to print the address which is in a. The address of a which is assigned to b cannot be printed using percentile f. Next one is, so that will be a junk value. And next one is percentile p. Percentile p is used to print the address of a variable. So b is holding address of a. So percentile p will print the address, and usually p will print the address in 8 bytes. Whereas, okay, the next line is percentile x for b. So the address is printed in hex format, and usually percentile x will print only the least 4 bytes in that address. When you use percentile p, most of the compilers give 8-byte address. So let's see the output. Percentile u, first printf is printing address in decimal value. Next one, percentile d is printing a junk value, and percentile f is printing a junk value or 0, sorry, and percentile p is printing 8-byte address. Percentile x is printing 4-byte address. Let's see the 14th question. Static int y, static int z, int x, printf, ampersand x, ampersand y, ampersand z. So here we are printing address of local variable x and static variable z and static global variable y. Let's see the output. So the address of x is 671863420, and the next one is like 5620 and 5624. So these two are having consecutive addresses because those two are into a same segment in the memory, whereas the local variable will be in a different segment. That is why these two are having addresses next to next, whereas x is having address starting from a different range. So next, I have given the data types, listed all the data types available in C. Signed char, range is -128 to 127, 1 byte, and percentile C. Unsigned char 0 to 255, 1 byte, and percentile C. Signed int, short signed int, -32768 to +32767, which is 2 bytes and percentile D. Short unsigned is 0 to 65535, 2 bytes and percentile U. And signed int and unsigned int is also same range, 2 bytes and percentile D and percentile U. And most of the compilers these days have 4 bytes support for int. Long int is 8 bytes. So this varies on compilers. And long unsigned int format specifiers will be the same. Percentile LD. So this is 2 power 32. This range is 2 power 32. And long unsigned int is also 4 bytes and format specifier is percentile LU. And the float range also I have mentioned here. Float is 4 bytes, percentile F. Double is 8 bytes, percentile LF. Long double is 10 bytes, percentile capital LF. Answer the following. So for this section I have a timer of 10 seconds. So I'll post the question and the timer starts and you can guess the answer. Memory representation of C program has below sections: text, initialized and uninitialized, stack and heap. Answer is all of the above. It has text segment, initialized and uninitialized, stack and heap. Next question. Heap memory is having it has dynamically allocated heap memory is dynamically allocated by malloc, calloc and realloc, and it also shares all the shared libraries, dynamically loaded modules, and it grows and shrinks in the opposite direction of stack. All of the above. Let me start the timer. So let's see the answer. It has all global and static variables that are initialized to 0 or that do not have explicit initialization in source code. So uninitialized data segment has global and static variables which are not initialized or initialized to 0. If it has explicit initialization, it is not in this BSS or uninitialized data segment. Let's see the next question. Initialized data segment contains Let's see the answer. It has global static that are initialized, extern variables and constants. All of these are in initialized data segment. Fifth question. Let's see the answer. Stack segment is used to store local variables, passing arguments and global variables. What is the answer? Both 1 and 2. So it stores local variables and the arguments passed to the function. So thanks for watching the video. Please watch the other quiz as well and improve your knowledge in C, and it also improves your IQ, I believe.